I'm a little girl from the Bahamas that was given an opportunity. I wasn't Ole Miss's first choice, but I was the right one, and I was naive enough to think that I could do it, and that's what no ceilings means, that there's no limit.
Coach Yo in her 5th season. 3 years ago, they didn't win a single SEC game. They beat Gonzaga, and then also in Maple, Steph just mentioned it, 54-49 as they took out #1 Stanford to get to this Sweet 16 and a matchup against Louisville. And Louisville and Haley Van Lith.
6 20-point NCAA tournament games in her career. Haley Van Lith knows how to get to her spots. She's exceptional in the mid-range, and she has a knack for taking over in the big moments. She's from the state of Washington. You think she's excited about coming home?
She is indeed a couple of hours away from Wenatchee, Washington, and this is the numbers. What you come to expect for Haley. First team All-ACC yet again, 3rd in the league in scoring. Great numbers, and she is close to home, and her family is with Holly Rowe.
Well, Haley Van Lith said she's coming home, and here she is, about 2.5 hours away from Wenatchee, where she grew up. There are over 300 people here supporting her. I am here with Mom, with Dad. I've got aunts, I've got Grandma. Everybody is here to see Haley Van Lith. Over 300 people came. They brought buses from her high school in Kashmir, and this is going to be a wonderful welcome homecoming for Haley Van Lith. Watch for the noise every time she does something great.
We already heard the noise, Ollie. Thank you very much. The Van Liths are fired up, and how perfect is that, right? A kid who goes from Washington State to Louisville, Kentucky to play and now gets to come back really as close to home as possible for a regional.
It's storybook, right? To be able to come back home and play in this arena, and her family and friends, and she said some of her family haven't been able to come to Louisville to watch her play, and now they get this opportunity on the big stage.
Trying to get a chance to take on Iowa on Sunday night. Haley Van Lith, honorable mention All-American, both with the Associated Press and the U.S. Women's Basketball Association, also an academic All-American. And we are about to get underway. Freshman Nyla Harris gonna jump it up. You see Ole Miss wearing their blue uniforms. Here's Haley Van Lith right away. Mikasa Robinson really has taken off since being inserted into the starting lineup for the Cardinals. Olivia Cochran left it a little bit short. Rebound taken down by Singleton as we take a look at our Capital One starting lineups for Ole Miss. Team that won 11 games in the SEC. And right away, Singleton with the shot.
Singleton was over from the three-point line in the first 2 NCAA tournament games. Steps up and knocks that one down with confidence.
And that's that new starting lineup that Jeff Walz went to after they lost back-to-back games, including one against Wake Forest. And they have taken off since then, 10-3 with that starting lineup. The only losses to Notre Dame and then to Virginia Tech in the ACC tournament. Jeff Walz taking his team to its 14th NCAA appearance, 12th Sweet 16, 6th straight, pardon me. They had never been to a Sweet 16 until he took over. CC Carr, the Syracuse transfer with the miss. This is a very confident Ole Miss team. Mikasa Robinson coming up with the rebound. She has led the team in rebounding, assists, and steals since being inserted into the starting lineup. She's frustrated that a foul wasn't called. And we heard from her in the open, Yolette McPhee-McEwen. 5th year in charge, 10th year overall. His 5 years at Jacksonville, where they had 3 straight 20-win seasons. Took them to an NCAA appearance. And really doing wonderful things with this Ole Miss squad. And that's a 5-second violation. They hang their hat on defense.
They do. They have those shirts. We defend. And this is a team who has bought into the defensive prowess that they need to be successful. And they've taken it to another level in the NCAA tournament. Teams are only scoring an average of 48.5 a game.
And they made Stanford. I didn't even see Stanford get into its offense. They were that dominant, winning at Maples. Maya Taylor with the miss, but a chance at the free throw line coming up for the Rebels. Foul on Nyla Harris. That is the first for her.
When you look at their season averages of the opponents that they played in the first and second rounds of this NCAA tournament and what Ole Miss was able to do to them on the defensive end of the floor. And Gonzaga led the nation in three-point field goal percentage. And what did Ole Miss do? They held them to 1 for 17.
Absolutely remarkable. Keisha Davis at the free throw line. Van Lith, she's going to be very closely guarded. She'll be in for a tough night. Wanted the ball back, Carr got it to her. And she gets the three.
And if you got to pick your poison, if you're Ole Miss, that's what you want Haley Van Lith doing, shooting that three-point shot, because she has struggled from the three-point line, only 29%, but steps up with confidence and knocks that one down.
She always seems, though, to hit the big ones, doesn't she? Playing with really little pep in her step in her home state of Washington. Nice spin and the finish for Davis, who is an Arkansas transfer. Quite a few transfers on this team. 4 of the 5 starters transferred. Madison Scott, the only one who started her collegiate career with Coach Yo.
Well, Haley Van Lith steps up, knocks down a three. And on the other end, in the two-man game, Marquisha Davis elevates over Nyla Harris, and that's no small feat. Harris stands at 6'2".
Louisville getting in thanks to a win over Texas in Austin in the second round. And with the miss, rebound taken down by Angel Baker, who transferred from Wright State. Remember, this is an Ole Miss team that took South Carolina to overtime this season.
It's an Ole Miss team that has no fear. I mean, they're playing the SEC, so you're playing at South Carolina, you're playing at LSU, you're playing at Tennessee. It's a team that also got more comfortable offensively as the year went on. You certainly knew they were going to hang their hat defensively. They got more comfortable offensively in the NCAA tournament, shot the ball incredibly well.
Trying to get to the Elite Eight for the first time since 2007 when Carol Ross was the head coach. You might remember that Ole Miss upset Maryland, eliminated the defending national champs on that road.
Minty Price was on that team, who I had the pleasure of coaching with the Chicago Sky.
Chrislyn Carr with the miss. Ole Miss quickly down 4, and that's buried by Baker. Baker with 13 points in that win against Stanford. Rebs out to a quick start. Cochran all the way to the basket. And they're not getting many second chance opportunities. Jeff Wall's going to go to his bench at the next whistle. Van Lith comes up with the rebound. Looking for someone to pass to and decided she was the best option.
Nobody was open. It seemed like everybody backs off.
Haley Van Lith with all 5 points so far for the Cardinals. Casa Robinson, one of the best perimeter defenders in the country, out there on salary. Now with the rebound, she gets bumped on the way up the court by Salary, the Tennessee transfer.
Angel Baker is just such a dynamic scorer. She stays poised, she uses her pivots, she's able to get around Van Lith, and then Van Lith is so good in that mid-range, and you mentioned that she was looking for somebody to pass to. Nobody was available, so she took it.
Rest of the team 0 for 5 from the floor.
It was a mass substitution by Yolette McPhee, and she was not liking what she saw.
It was almost like a hockey line change.
It was.
Coming in, you see Russell and Morgan Jones for the first time for Louisville. Jones, the Florida State transfer, tough one, and scooped it in.
And it's really important for Morgan Jones to get going. She was 5 for 5 from the floor for 10 points against Texas. And she is a player who is so good off the bounce. And her production has dipped this season for Louisville from what it was at Florida State. And they need another scorer.
Two-time All-ACC performer when she played for the Noles. Cochran bit on the fake, but then got some help. Three-pointer off the back rim, chased down by Jones. Just some of that athleticism for the junior. Van Lith looks up to her family and blows them a kiss after she hit the three.
There is no substitute for the emotion of a moment. And right away, Haley Van Lith is feeling it.
It's a 7-0 run. Louisville with its first lead. It doesn't last long. Davis has 6. Great pace so far. Russell with the 3. The junior from Ottawa. That three-point attempt chased down by Davis. And now Ole Miss is going to settle it as much as they can. Looks over to Coach Yo. Gives him the instructions. Taylor found the lane.
A miscommunication defensively. There's a guard-to-guard on-ball screen. And looked like Mikasa Robinson wanted to switch it, and Haley Van Lith wasn't prepared.
And that ended up costing them. Walls gives Haley Van Lith a play. Cochran. Jones had it stripped away on her way to the basket, and then Cochran picked it up and got fouled. Can you come home again? So far the answer is yes.
So far the answer is yes. Haley Van Lith has come out confident. She's letting it fly, and she says, hey, I'm home. Marissa Russell knocks down a 3 as well.
The NCAA Women's Championship is presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet? Haley Van Lith blowing a kiss to her family. And sorry, Haley, they reviewed that 3, the blow a kiss 3. Her foot was on the line, so that now becomes a 2, but still a big shot.
It was still a big shot, and she still has come out with a lot of confidence on the offensive end of the floor. And she should. I mean, she had 21 against Texas. She had 26 against Drake. You know, instrumental in end-of-game situations and stepping up in big moments.
Olivia Cochran goes to the free throw line. Madison Scott committed a foul before we hit that timeout. Cochran gets onto the score sheet and then goes out in favor of Liz Dixon. A nice luxury for head coach Jeff Walls to have those two and interchange them. Shot over Dixon, left a little bit short. Rebound stays with Ole Miss. Well, Marissa Russell faked and landed up on the floor. Now Russell playing hard, good look, Nice assist for Van Lith.
Got back into play, got the rebound, and then ran the floor and was rewarded.
Yep, didn't pout. 5 points for the junior. Jumper off the mark, rebound, tried to be saved in, but to Van Lith. Casa Russell got bumped before the block.
Well, great job running transition. Marissa Russell kicks it ahead, and Haley Van Lith gives it back to her, rewards her for the rim run.
Pardon me, I was just going to say Madison Scott picked up her second foul for Ole Miss.
And that was a heads-up play by Mikasa Robinson to go into Madison Scott and try to draw that contact.
And so Mikasa Robinson heads to the free throw line. Graduate guard from Ashland, Kentucky, who's just been a terrific all-around player. We remind you, for the 3rd straight year, every NCAA women's basketball championship game is on the networks of ESPN. For information, go to ncaa.com. You're home for all 90 NCAA championships. All games on the ESPN networks, also on the app. Robinson empty on that trip, but an offensive rebound. Russell had it cup out.
Great box out by Ole Miss. No opportunity for an offensive rebound.
Good ball movement. And terrific fakes as well, but Louisville coming away with it. Morgan Jones, length of the court. Her turn to get fouled. Joe Vasily, Karen Prado, and Kenneth Nash, our officials this evening. In Seattle, the winner will get Iowa on Sunday night. Maya Taylor picked up the foul for the Rebels. And now Morgan Jones heads to the free throw line. Davis back in the game for Ole Miss. Jones with her first year in Louisville. Coach Jeff Walz talked about how coachable she is, nice kid. But as you mentioned, not getting the offensive production we were used to seeing when she was at Florida State. It's a 6-0 Louisville run. And now pressure. Van Lith with the reach in. And then the block by Dixon. Stands her ground. And that's a travel.
At the free throw line, and gives Louisville an opportunity to set their pressure. And this is an outstanding play by Liz Dixon, able to go up with the offhand and block that shot. That's textbook, keeping it in play.
Dixon, freshman year at Georgia Tech, and has been at Louisville ever since. And now the defensive play. Angel Baker unable to keep it on the court.
You got to be careful if you're Louisville against this pressure of bringing it right into the front court in the corner. Ole Miss is so good and active in this pressure. They get in the passing lanes, they lock you up quickly.
Whistling Carr. Good thing she didn't pull the trigger on that, because Davis was right there fixing to steal it. Inside a minute to go in the first quarter. Van Lith picked up her dribble. 3-second violation. Gives the ball back over to Ole Miss. Jeff Walz in his 16th year at Louisville. Van Lith combining with Jones to wreak havoc, and then CC Carr missed the layup. Well, it was missed layups that did in Stanford when they played Ole Miss in the second round.
Ole Miss just speeds you up. You know, they get after it, they rotate quickly. As Davis gets another two, they force you to play a little bit faster than you want to.
Dixon from Jones.
Well, Morgan Jones early in this ball game has been a big lift off the bench. Her energy level, her ability to attack the rim.
4 rebounds. I'm sorry, 4 points and 3 rebounds, and we just saw that assist. Waning seconds of the first quarter. Louisville shooting 47% from the floor, hitting 6 of their last 8 shots, have the lead after 1. When we come back, Holly Rowe with Coach Yo.
Welcome back to Seattle. We're here with Coach Yo of Ole Miss, and this is the first quarter. How do you think your team has settled in quickly?
I mean, awful. We're not playing any defense, so 14 points in transition. We got to fix that.
Davis has been good, though, offensively. How do you rely on her and her composure?
It's a team game. We can't rely on one person. We got to get it together as a team.
Thanks, Coach.
Coach Yo certainly in that intensity mode right now for this Ole Miss team. Making their first Sweet 16 since 2007. Back-to-back 20-win seasons for the first time in almost 30 years. 11 wins in the SEC, tying a program record, and took out Stanford, the #1 seed in their regional in California. Stayed out west. Pam Ward, Stephanie White, and Holly Rowe joining you from Seattle. Again, the winner will get Iowa on Sunday night. W from Climate Pledge Arena, beautiful arena where the Seattle Storm play. Ole Miss just 2 points in the last 3 minutes and 42 seconds of the first quarter. 20 points, the most they've allowed in any quarter this tournament, which tells you how good their defense has been.
We heard Coach Yo talking about her team's defense and said they're not playing any right now. They have held all but 3 teams well under their average throughout the season.
Remember, Stanford got 20 in the first half,
Yes.
right? Whereas Louisville just got 20 in the first quarter. Jones, you're right. She has been a big lift for them tonight.
She sure has. And again, coming off a game against Texas where she was 5 for 5 from the floor, and Jeff Walls says when she gets going downhill, no one can stop her, and she's getting downhill and she's finishing.
Missed everything.
And Liz Dixon on the defensive end of the floor, her second block of the ball game. Well, she's a presence inside. She stays disciplined, and Morgan Jones on the other end getting to the rim.
If they could get this kind of production from Morgan Jones, it'd be a big lift for this team. Louisville with 3 blocks already, 2 of them by Dixon. Carr has yet to score. Averages over 11 points a game, second only to Van Lith. Dixon nails it.
Now, there was a period of time where Liz Dixon was in the starting lineup, and Jeff Walls, when he changed the lineup right before this Syracuse game at the end of January, he said, I like her coming off the bench. She gets to see the flow of the game, get a feel for what it's going to be like when she gets back out there, and she has been spectacular in that role.
We also praised her for just being very even-tempered about it. Didn't throw a tantrum, as you said, wanted a lift off the bench. Mikasa Robinson able to grab the miss. She got Jones to her right, finds her, and then Jones airs it. Jump shot finally falling for Collins.
Snetta Collins can get hot in a hurry. She's somebody that you got to be aware of when she's on the perimeter. 15 points against Gonzaga in that first round matchup.
He's on SEC All-Freshman a couple of years ago. Robinson, nothing doing, rebound Davis. And a good fake, and the finish.
Well, Holly mentioned it when she was talking to Coach Yo. Davis has been exceptional early in this ball game. She needs to continue to hunt those opportunities.
Double figures, she's hit all 4 of her shots. The rest of the team, 4 of 20 from the floor. 20%. Jones missed her last couple. Now Madison Scott bringing it up. Not one of the players who took a chance on this Ole Miss program when she signed. 21 SEC Freshman of the Year, the first since the great Armini Price for Ole Miss.
First McDonald's All-American. She's come to this program. And she said, I wanted to come and play for a coach that believed in me, that was going to push me, that was going to challenge me.
Well, here they are in back-to-back NCAA tournaments. Last year they lost in the first round down in Waco to South Dakota, a team that then went out and beat Baylor in the second round. Just got the shot off, hit iron. The ball goes out of bounds off of Ole Miss. Haley Van Lith stuck on 7 points for a while.
The dead ball gives Ole Miss a chance to set this pressure. Louisville's got to find a way to get CC Carr a shot. They got to get her some touches. And she has excelled in this role playing off the ball with Mikasa Robinson. But they got to find a way to get her some touches.
She's 0 for 3 from the floor. Van Lith. And then very quickly, Angel Baker with the finish.
And that's so good. I mean, going downhill so fast, able to pull up on a dime. Now, Angel Baker, the last five games leading into this game, held below 15 points. Well, she's somebody who can light it up and get hot in a hurry.
Leads this team in scoring at 15 points a game. 6-0 Ole Miss run. Shot clock winding down. They're not going to get a shot off. In fact, a steal. Taylor challenging Carr. 8-0 run.
You feel that defensive intensity picking up. One-on-one containment, one-on-one ownership. You see the pressure. CC Carr couldn't get loose. Mikasa Robinson couldn't get loose.
Cochran almost got it taken away. Carr, her first points.
And that's big. I think if you're Louisville, you got to find a way to get by a defender enough to draw some help to find CC Carr on the perimeter.
So only 13 players had a better three-point percentage in the entire country than Carr this season. Pick up in the portal from Syracuse. Taylor, her answer. Ole Miss is only down by 1. They had missed 5 threes in a row before Taylor hit that one. And a whistle, we have a foul, and we hit a timeout. The NCAA Women's Championship presented by Capital One is brought to you by Under Armour. Protect this house.
Coming up at the Degree Halftime Report, we've got 3 teams officially punching their ticket to the Elite Eight. We'll give you all the crazy, wild highlights. But we knew for the Buffaloes that calling card was defense. Louisville can bang too, though, Monica.
Yeah, Louisville definitely showing that they're a team that has the ability to turn the other team's water off, at least early in this ball game. But Louisville also looked easier, like it was easier to score.
I feel like Ole Miss is getting into their rhythm in the second quarter. They've held down this team to 7 points, but the bench play of Louisville has really separated them.
All right, a slugfest. We'll see you at the half. For now, we get it back to Pam and Steph.
All right, thank you very much. And the winner of this game, SUC, will play Iowa Sunday night at 9 Eastern. That's 6 o'clock here in Seattle. 31 points for Caitlin Clark. South Carolina, UCLA, Maryland, and Notre Dame tip off tomorrow. Ole Miss on a nice 11-3 run. Marquisha Davis with 10 of their points. Haley Van Lith with a quick start. 7 points in the first quarter for the Washington native. And Ole Miss now with a chance to take the lead. And they do just that thanks to Maya Taylor with her second three of the night. 13-12 was the last time they led in this game. Louisville has gone cold.
Maya Taylor averages 6 points on the year, known for her assists and her steals, is stepping up for the Rebels offensively.
There's a three for Van Lith. First into double figures for the Cardinals, who bounce back on top. Taylor guarded by Robinson. Now Davis. A little bit of daylight. Quickly closes up. Shot clock violation.
The game plan is to give Maya Taylor space, force her to hit a shot, and she stepped up. She's knocking them down, and Haley Van Lith has the answer for the Cardinals.
Van Lith's second three of the game. Pretty clean game so far. Each team just 3 turnovers each. Morgan Jones back in the game, gave him a lift and continues to do so.
And Jeff Walls continues to call that same play where he's getting Morgan Jones the ball, coming off of that handoff on the elbow. Even if you step off of her, sag off of her, she's so quick downhill she can get by you.
Taylor, who transferred from Mississippi State, where she graduated, was a 3-year starter. That's an offensive foul. It's Singleton for the moving screen. NCAA Men's Basketball Championship is continuing tomorrow. And how about some upsets? Miami, men and women, into the Elite Eight. Coverage begins and continues on TBS tomorrow. For more information on game times and networks, go to ncaa.com.
Houston goes down.
Yep.
Alabama goes down.
All the number ones are gone. Miami with that big win over Houston, the Miami women. Boy, that was a heck of a game for Miami earlier today.
It's a great time to be a Cane.
Almost blew a 21-point lead, but beat Villanova. It appears Maddie Sechrist is not going to use her final year of eligibility.
Well, Destiny Harden has been stepping up big in big moments. Exactly what you expect from your upperclassmen, from your veterans.
The officials get together as to whether or not that was a travel. Ball ruled out of bounds off Ole Miss, so Louisville hangs on. Casa Robinson comes in for CC Carr. Russell calling for the ball, and now an offensive foul coming up against Cochran.
Now Cochran was trying to get a piece of the defender and just moved at the last minute. You don't want to get a foul like that when you're, somebody like Olivia Cochran that Louisville really depends on both ends of the floor on the interior.
Turnover, right back, Morgan Jones, Marissa Russell left it short. And there's where Ole Miss can really hurt you in the transition. With an air ball three put up by Collins. Robinson to Cochran, and she was tied up. 3 blue jerseys in the vicinity. Possession arrow in favor of Louisville as Coach Walls fields the basketball, checks it out.
He just wants to know why they're missing so many layups. That's what he's like, what's up with this?
Yeah, it must be the ball. Coach Walls always wears some spiffy sneakers too, doesn't he?
He does. Custom-made sneakers.
Jones plows Offensive foul. It's a first on Jones.
Morgan Jones had been getting to the rim. She had the next pass, but this is a great individual effort by Davis to beat her to the spot.
Coming up on 1 minute to go in the first half. Nobody stepped in to guard Taylor. Got the offensive rebound. A lot of jump shots here for Ole Miss.
We talked to Jeff Walls because Louisville's a team that in the past has been really known for defense. They struggled in that area most of the year, but have turned it up. He said it's scouting report defense. We've been much more at a high level of attention to detail, executing a game plan. And that's what this game plan is. Force Ole Miss to take contested jump shots, and Olivia Cochran going to work down low.
That was a tough shot for her first field goal. Gets the lead up to 5. Shot clock is off now for the Rebels. 3.5 minutes without a single point. Missed their last 4 shots from the floor. Davis, great defense. Van Lith with the tie-up. Rebels didn't get a shot off, and now 2.6 seconds left for Louisville to try to make something happen. Jones with the heave. Louisville scored the last 7 points of that quarter. They have a 5-point advantage after the first half. Trip to the Elite Eight and a date with Iowa on the line. Louisville shooting 46% in that half. Let's go over to Holly with Haley Van Lith.
Haley, there was a lot of talk about the Ole Miss defense coming into this game. How has your defense really set the tone and been the most aggressive?
Yeah, you know, I think we're keeping them to one shot. We're boxing out and we're getting rebounds. Our bigs are doing a great job of keeping their bigs off the board, so I think that's the key.
You had a nice shot and then blow to the crowd with a little kiss for your family. What's it like playing in front of your grandma, your aunts, mom, dad, everybody?
It's really amazing. You know, I'm so blessed. I couldn't ask for a better venue, but I'm more excited about winning with my team. So we're going to come out and play even better in the second half.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
So Haley Van Lith and the Cards with a 5-point advantage. The Wenatchee, Washington native, close to home, loving her family. Let's go to the studio now. And Elle Duncan.
All right, thanks so much.
Back to the NCAA Women's Championship presented by Capital One. Gorgeous downtown Seattle. It's a Sweet 16 matchup. Louisville with a 5-point lead over Ole Miss. The winner will take on Iowa. Haley Van Lith had 7 points in the first quarter. The Washington native back, Marquisha Davis and Maya Taylor doing most of the damage for the Rebels. Yeah, that's the team that took out Stanford. And we welcome you back to Seattle. Pam Ward, along with Stephanie White, head coach of the Connecticut Sun. Holly Rowe will join us shortly. Let's take a look at some good highlights. Our thrilling drives for tonight's game, brought to you by Nissan.
Well, Morgan Jones has been driving wherever she wants, getting herself to the paint. 3 attacks to the rim. She's got 8 of Louisville's 17 bench points to go along with 6 rebounds, an assist, a steal, and a block. But she is so good when she gets the ball in that right hand and gets going downhill.
Really, the bench, you see the bench points. Jones with 8 of those 17 for Louisville. Mississippi doubling up on the offensive rebounds. Missa Russell also with 5 off the bench. Liz Dixon with 4. Ole Miss is a team that did not score in the last 3 minutes and 41 seconds of the half after taking a 2-point lead. Let's go now to Holly, who had a talk with Coach Yo.
Guys, Coach Yo wants her team to play together and to play tougher defense. That's what their identity is, and she doesn't think that's what they're living up to right now. When we talked to the players before the game, they said, we pack our defense. It's in our suitcase. That's what we do. And they started out very strong. Louisville got off to a little bit of a slower start, but they dropped off with that intensity. They need more intensity right now if you're an Ole Miss fan to see if they can turn it up here in the second half.
Well, that's the thing. Defense travels, and it certainly is an opportunity for Ole Miss to get back to that. Now, part of that, I feel like, is Maddie Scott was on the bench with those 2 fouls, and she really is a leader on this team. She can set the tone. She can alter shots on the interior. She's versatile. She can play multiple positions defensively, and you see she can be the head of the snake in this press.
And Madison Scott did not score at all in the first half. Second team All-SEC and also on the All-Defensive squad this season. Ole Miss off to a great start. With the bucket buried by Angel Baker. Very interesting story, circuitous route to get to Ole Miss after starting out at Wright State.
Played for Katrina Merriweather at Wright State, and when Katrina got the Memphis job, she decided she was going to move on, and Katrina said, you know, she's better than us. She needs to play at a higher level.
Terrific cut and a good find. Robinson to Van Lith.
Well, Ole Miss is going to come with this pressure, so they're going to be out in passing lanes, and Haley Van Lith set it up perfectly. Mikasa Robinson, the pass is on the money.
Haley Van Lith just picked up her first personal foul. Louisville only had 3 fouls called against him in the entire first half. Van Lith on the first team All-ACC squad this season. Maya Taylor, top 10 in Mississippi State history in assists overall, assists per game, and steals. Van Lith creeps in to get the rebound.
Creeps in. She was skying in, Pam.
Carr frustrated. And Scott. There's Baker. Talented drill, spin move over Van Lith for the pretty bucket.
Angel Baker can get hot in a hurry. That was a heck of a move. Good finish. And she's another player who can get to her spots at will. And when she gets in that mid-range, she is tough to stop.
She was the 6th player of the year in the SEC last season. Dixon posting up hard. Carr's shot has been off. And behind the back for Baker. Wide open, Taylor. With the flip over Robinson. Robinson ends up with the basketball.
And Angel Baker is so good with the ball. She gets to that spot, quick spin around the defender. Nice soft touch on the rim. I mean, that's tough. You got to make that spin move, and then you got to find the rim quickly. And then, yes, tell them about it.
Well, that looks a little bit like Allen Iverson to me, and that's because she grew up watching his videos. She also loved Kyrie, and when we said, you're too young to watch Allen Iverson, she said, no, I had older brothers who turned me on to him. Her brothers, they would play out in the yard. Her brothers taught her how to do a couple of tricks. So shout out to Anthony, Javon, and Timothy for teaching her a little Allen Iverson, because you see it in her game.
You sure do, and she said that's where she learned how to play, out there playing with her brothers. You know, brought toughness, and certainly when you play against the guys and when you play against family, they don't give you anything. Everything is earned, and Angel Baker had to earn it all.
A turnover on Van Lith.
You can see the spin move. I mean, it's just tight, it's quick. She's able to elevate, and then the floater uses every bit of the rim. Nice touch.
Indianapolis kid, Angel Baker. Taylor almost lost it, now gets it back. That's a terrific find. The bucket doesn't go in, but a chance to shoot free throws for Davis. For the third straight year, every NCAA Women's Basketball Championship game is on the networks of ESPN. For more information, go to ncaa.com. Your home for all 90 NCAA championships. All games on the ESPN networks and the ESPN app, culminating Sunday, April 2nd on ABC with the championship game in Dallas. The full crew down there. Morgan Jones picked up the foul that sent Davis to the free throw line. You'll be down there doing some work.
I will be.
Your
yes.
other job, your fancy job. New head coach, the Connecticut Sun. Jen Rosati, team president.
Yes. Talk about great point guards. Jen Rosati, one of the best to ever play the game.
Yeah, Rebecca Lobo can vouch for that. And on that first championship team in '95 for UConn.
You think there were a few assists that went to Lobo?
A little bit. And we saw Breon January, one of your
yes.
assistants, is here in the building, a Spokane, Washington native.
And finished her career with the Seattle Storm. I saw her on a couple of billboards out around town as well.
Big deal out here.
She's a big deal everywhere.
It's a great place in this new format to have this regional, and there are a lot of people here, and we're, a lot of Iowa fans, but those seats have been filled in for those who decided to maybe go celebrate and watch ESPN. Robinson saved it in over her head. Mikasa Robinson. That kind of is a microcosm of the kind of player she is.
It really is. I mean, makes all the hustle plays, does all the little things, all the gritty work, and see her slip a little bit right there on the cheerleader sign. But that is typical Mikasa Robinson, and she's averaging a little over 8 points a game, almost 7 rebounds and over 6 assists in the last 13 games as a starter. She's someone who came off the bench, limited minutes her entire career, was always known for the little things. And you see those numbers in these last 13 games. You don't feel like this senior has a sense of urgency, understands this moment. And I don't think it's any coincidence that as soon as she was inserted into the starting lineup, this Louisville team changed.
Doesn't score a lot of points, but gives you so much more, as you mentioned. And Jeff Walz says that she is absolutely a coach's dream, had considered transferring out after her sophomore year, but decided to stay and said it was the best decision of her life. Dixon thought she had a block. But instead, she has picked up her first personal foul.
Well, Maya Taylor recognized the mismatch, and I think the officials are calling that left arm that's on the hip of Taylor as she's driving to the rim.
Taylor might have willed that one in with her body language. Only had 3 points in the upset win over Stanford, but tied a career high in rebounds in that astonishing win at Maples. Maybe astonishing to everybody but the Ole Miss players and tight-knit community.
It was interesting listening to Yolette McEwen talking about preparing for that moment.
Robinson floater, she got the friendly roll. Davis over Jones, brings such length out there as a perimeter defender. They didn't buy Cochran's attempt to draw a charge, but then Robinson draws one. And let McEwen so animated there on the bench. She is moving the entire time. Talked to us about how she's a totally different person off the court, but during a game, she says she's in war mode, and I think she's in full war mode right now.
Absolutely. It's a battle. She's competitive. She is willing this team. But you know, every one of these players talked about Coach Yo and just how much she pushes them, how much she challenges them, and how much they embrace that and want that.
From the Bahamas, her father, a legendary coach down there. Got Jones up in the air, then Robinson tried to block from behind. Robinson called for her first foul. Angel Baker will check in. Davis heads to the free throw line, mid-year transfer. Last year from Arkansas. She's a native of Arkansas. Put up 20 points against her old team this year.
She had 4 steals against Stanford. I mean, she's a player who, well, she averages a little over 10 points a game. Shoots at about 45% from the floor, but again, you look at the pieces that Ole Miss has, and you've seen them start to come together. A lot of transfers, right? A lot of new pieces that have come into this program, and finding a way to bring them together. Sometimes it takes a little more time than others, but they put it together at the right time, understanding their roles. Each one of them can get hot offensively at any moment, but it comes down to this defense. We defend mantra, this mentality of togetherness, of toughness.
Too strong from Cochran. Baker back in the game, comes up with the rebound. Blocked. And lift. Guarded by Collins, inside to Cochran for the finish.
I love Haley Van Lith rewarding Olivia Cochran for the block and the energy on one end, finding her on the other.
Gets the lead back up to 5, 4 minutes left to go in the third quarter. Good defense again by Cochran. They have to kick it back out. Taylor all the way through the lane, shot clock winding down. They need a shot, they get one. Timeout in Seattle. Ole Miss down 5, and we come back. We'll get to know Coach Yo just a little bit better. We know one thing, she loves to dance.
Well, getting to know Yo has been an absolute delight. The coach for Ole Miss is maybe one of the most pleasant, wonderful people you ever want to meet in your life. She gets it from growing up in the Bahamas, grew up in Freeport, Grand Bahama, and she said, you know, I knew we weren't rich, but we never wanted for anything, and I have always known excellence. I got it from my mom, Daisy, who was an educator for 30 plus years. Dad was also a very, as you said, Pam, a very famous coach there in the Bahamas. And she said, I remember in 10th grade, I started waking my dad up at 10 o'clock, or excuse me, at 5 o'clock in the morning. We would go outside and practice at 5 a.m. so we could get in an hour's worth of practice before I had to go to school with my mom at 7 a.m. to open up the school. She has been determined. She has made history as the first player out of the Bahamas to earn a Division I college scholarship, and everywhere she's gone, she's exceeded, over-delivered, and you just want to get to know Coach Yo if you are in college basketball.
And she certainly has a great personality, again, off the court, but talked about how she's a beast in the huddle and can turn it off and on, and is in the family business of basketball. Van Lith gets fouled on her way. There's a program that her father was involved with on the Bahamas. Buddy Hield went through there. Jonquil Jones, pretty good ball players. And
absolutely.
There's her dad.
Yep, there is Moon, a program called Hoyts. He used to coach the boys, and then when one of the guys said, hey, your daughter's a pretty good ball player, he started coaching her.
There was a buzz over on a court. He went over and looked at her and said, okay, that's it, I'm all in. And again, what a job she has done at Ole Miss. Van Lith, 1 of 2 from the line on that trip. Just to remind you that 3 years ago, this team won 7 games all year and were 0-16 in the SEC. And here they are, 1 win away from the Elite Eight. Jones chases down the Scott miss. Perfect pass from Russell inside to Dixon.
Really good execution. Understanding exactly what it is that they're trying to get. I mean, Jeff Walls is so good at drawing up plays and, you know, helping his team understand what they're looking for. And you see this little just baseline brush screen by Haley Van Lith. You got to stay tight to her because if you help, she's going to be open.
Timeout by Ole Miss. Jeff Walls' team up 46-38. Caitlin Clark, just another night. 31 points, 34th career game with at least 30 as Iowa has advanced to the Elite Eight, where they will play the winner of this game. Kenna Warnock got it to stick. As Iowa advances on, Colorado put up a good fight, but they go down. And just to remind you, the other side of ultimately what will be this bracket in the Final Four gets underway tomorrow, starting at 11:30 a.m. Eastern. That's 8:30. Get up bright and early to see those games. And there's Lisa Bluter, the head coach for Iowa, doing some scouting. Congratulations to Katie Meyer and the Hurricanes of Miami, their first Elite Eight, holding off Villanova, LSU, holding off Utah, and Iowa back in the Elite Eight for the second time in 4 tournaments. Taylor with the miss, 1 and done. Robinson quickly gets it up to Morgan Jones. Settles things in. And Russell, a little bit too strong off glass. Ole Miss has missed its last 7 shots. No field goals now for 6 minutes.
Well, in the third quarter, Louisville turned up their defensive pressure. Their activity level was much better. They were securing defensive rebounds. Attention to detail was a little higher.
So Louisville just up by 8 despite this prolonged drought by the Rebels. Inside to Jones, who couldn't finish after the alley-oopish type pass from Robinson. Count it. Madison Scott with a chance at a 3-point play.
And Madison Scott's saddled with those early fouls, has not quite gotten into a rhythm in this ball game, and maybe this is just what she needs. Aggressive to the rim. That is a tough finish with the offhand. Taking the contact, and now an opportunity for the N1. And Ole Miss is going to come with this pressure off of this free throw, so if you're in Louisville, you got to be ready for it.
Well, Madison Scott told us yesterday that we are a reflection of Coach Cho. She's tough and never gives up, and we don't either. You saw that tough finish there for Madison Scott. They are still in this thing, and they are fighting so hard. They are a true reflection of their coach on the sideline, as you see Coach Yo stomping around, being tough right now.
All right, Scott taking a chance on this program.
She's playing defense over there.
Yeah.
She's not just stomping her foot. She's got wide hands, active feet.
1 minute to go now in the third. Jones over to Cochran. A timeout called by Jeff Walls because Cochran was kind of in no man's land over there, bottled up. 6 seconds left on the shot clock when Louisville inbounds it.
Well, Louisville's so good at these after timeout situations. You know, Jeff Walls gets an opportunity to draw exactly what he wants up on the whiteboard. They come out and typically execute. Olivia Cochran, you mentioned it, was in a tough position down low, and he understands the value of each possession and momentum heading into a fourth quarter.
Let's see what Coach Walls has drawn up this time. Haley Van Lith off to a fast start, has 13 points to lead her team in scoring. Robinson with the inbound. Grabbed by Jones, attacks the basket, and the officials get together and decide it's a block. Count the bucket.
Yeah, this is a good call. You can see it from that angle. Maddie Scott's continuing to slide left as Morgan Jones has left the floor. That's where we get the benefit of the replay.
Yeah, that's a tough call. 3-point play for Jones, tough call to make, correct call that time.
Yeah, those block charges are so difficult.
Jumper, nothing but net for Collins. Starter last year, now coming off the bench for the Rebels. Marissa Russell, big three!
Marissa Russell has had her moments this year with Louisville, and she's somebody who has come in off the bench and who has been solid, giving them production on both ends.
Played several games with the Canadian senior national team. Largest lead of the night. It's a 10-point advantage. Can Ole Miss get the final points of the quarter? Robinson lets it go out of bounds. Ole Miss missed 8. Make that 9 of their last 11 shots to fall behind. When we come back, Holly Rowe will chat with Jeff Walls.
Welcome back to Seattle, where you guys have just gone on a nice run to end the third quarter. You were pumping your fists, yelling. The players are all screaming in the huddle right now. How is this momentum feeding into the fourth?
Well, unfortunately, it's not the end of the fourth quarter. You know, we still got another quarter to play. We've executed extremely well coming out of timeouts. We missed a gimme there. And what we got to be able to do is if we miss a layup, we can't turn it into a layup. That's been our Achilles heel. But I'm really proud of them. We're defending. We're playing hard. I think a lot of people thought that we couldn't guard, and we're doing a pretty damn good job. Now, we still got another quarter left, and it's going to come down to how hard we're willing to box out and rebound.
Coach, you're yelling over here, execute, execute, execute. You'll call something, and they are executing. How has your offense done a good job?
Well, I'm proud of them. They've done a great job of staying focused. Ole Miss plays really good defense. They're going to get after you. You got to be able to get past the first or second pass and then convert. It's a two-pass pressure. They really do a great job, and if you panic, it's a turnover. And then against their full court press, we've got to continue to look to score and not just get it across half court and be happy.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Thank you all.
Well, Haley Van Lith, who is from Washington State, coming back home, and Jeff Walls has really turned things up for this program. They had never been to a Sweet 16 before he came along, and now they're trying to get back into the Elite 8. Went to the Final Four last year where they lost to eventual national champion South Carolina. Pam Ward, Stephanie White, and Holly Rowe joining you this evening from Seattle. The winner gets Iowa on Sunday night. Louisville used an 11-4 run to close that third quarter. Mississippi, the team that took out Stanford. Louisville won on the road at Texas to get here. And Lith sensed the pressure behind her. You know, board for Russell, but she's called for taking steps. And Louisville bench making a big dent. Outscoring Ole Miss 25-4.
You got Morgan Jones with 11, Marissa Russell with 8, Liz Dixon with 6. And that was what Jeff Walls had talked about when he made his lineup change back at the end of January. You weren't getting enough production from the bench. Morgan Jones was in the starting lineup. CeCe Carr was in the starting lineup. Now he brings them off the, or he brings CeCe Carr back into the starting lineup, but brings some players off the bench that can give him a punch.
And Morgan Jones certainly has done that. Marissa Russell as well. Jones just picked up her 3rd personal foul for the Cardinals. Now Davis goes back to the free throw line, where she is 5 of 6 tonight. 13 points leading the way for her club. Taylor also in double figures at 12. Davis had 12 points in the upset at Stanford last weekend. Boy, 0 for 2 from the line.
Man, these are missed opportunities for Ole Miss. And some easy looks from the free throw line. You want to cut into this double-digit lead.
Robinson, oh, fancy fake, and she knocks it home. Six points for Robinson, all coming in this second half, and the ball goes right back to the Cards.
Mikasa Robinson has never averaged more than 3 points a ball game at Louisville. Early in this year, she was coming off the bench, averaging about 20 minutes a ball game, inserted into the starting lineup, and has just taken off. She had 14 in the first round game against Drake. Her and Haley Van Lith, the only 2 players in double figures.
Robinson averaging a career-high 6 points per game this season.
This little guard-to-guard on ball, and Maya Taylor does a good job of establishing position, getting her second foot down, taking the contact.
Van Lith originally was celebrating, then she looked over and said, what was the call? And the call was a foul on her. Her second. Touch foul out there on the perimeter. Scott turned towards the basket. Second foul on Russell.
If I'm Ole Miss right now, I'm continuing to just put my head down and go to the rim. Force Louisville to continue to defend you without fouling. That's a tough shot by Collins.
Hit it over Robinson. Now coming back. The defensive play by Jones. Robinson yelling at Russell to slow things down. But Van Lith throws up the 3. Cochran fouled on the rebound. And then goes over and gets the low 5 from Coach Walls.
Well, he appreciates the extra effort. Continuing to stay on the glass, staying active, get their team another possession.
4th personal now on Madison Scott, the junior out of Indian Head, Maryland. Another of the innumerable great players from the DMV, District, Maryland, and Virginia.
Yes, I got that.
Okay, so let me make sure.
I've been around, Pam. I've been around.
Van Lith, she almost pulled it. Plays with that confidence. Another miss for Van Lith. Thompson, the freshman, trying to go coast to coast. The only freshman on the squad this year. But they've had some opportunities.
They have not been able to get it to fall, whether it's easy buckets at the rim, free throws.
Knocked away momentarily. It was interesting talking to Haley Van Lith yesterday when she talked about playing in high school in Wenatchee, Washington. She said, I was a menace in high school. and it's kind of, I would say, you know, she still is sort of a menace, but she said back in high school she was the kind of player who would really get in your face and clap in your face, and she says she's toned it down a bit since then.
She's matured a lot since then, yes. But you know what? That's what makes a player like Haley Van Lith special, is that edge, right? That competitive passion, the edge, the dog.
Every team needs dogs.
Every team needs a dog.
Is Dixon off the Mikasa Robinson inbound.
And if you have more than one, you're really lucky.
Yeah, then you're rolling. Point lead. Ole Miss struggling to score. And they are not getting any offensive rebounds, it seems. Louisville's only scored 4 points in this quarter, but that's double what Ole Miss has done. I'll call out of the horn set for Louisville. Shot clock diminishing. Oh, and with 6 seconds left on the shot clock, a foul out on the perimeter on Singleton.
Well, terrific execution against the zone and the inbounds. The post cross, Liz Dixon is open. Mikasa Robinson does Mikasa Robinson things and finds her.
It's all fired up. Haley Van Lith, by the way, has not scored in this quarter. Robinson with a rebound.
And this is why you like Mikasa Robinson at the point right now. Organizing her team, getting it back, understanding time and score. Want to work the clock.
Shot clock dying. Carr needs to shoot. But a travel shuffled her feet before she got the shot off. It didn't go in anyway. Let's take a look at tonight's game changers presented by Under Armour. Louisville offense hitting 5 threes. Just under their season average.
See the most allowed by Ole Miss in the tournament.
Yeah, the first two, 3 for 24, and you mentioned in particular what they did in their first round win. It's Gonzaga. Team known for being one of the best in the country from long range.
Liz Dixon has the mismatch. She was calling for it. She still got it. See if they can recognize it.
Carr's not looking that way. Now they got to look to shoot. And Lith still scoreless in the fourth. Nice step through and the finish for Davis.
And there's a time where you work the clock, but there's also a time where you stay aggressive. And I think when you have a mismatch off of an offensive rebound, when the clock is short, you want to look to take advantage of that if you can.
1-point advantage. Robinson drew some contact, no foul. Dixon, big offensive rebound. And then the foul is Robinson laid out to try to get the board. Timeout to Seattle. The NCAA Women's Championship is presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet? Let's take a look at our Capital One rewarding performance.
It's Morgan Jones off the bench. She's been terrific, giving this team a lift on the defensive end. She had a block and 2 steals. She's been getting to the rim, 4 of 8 from the floor. 7 rebounds, 2 of those offensive, and this is exactly what Jeff Walz needed. He wanted some bench production. Morgan Jones has been terrific now in back-to-back games and certainly gives Louisville an added dimension when they have another double-figure score.
11 points and 7 rebounds off the bench for Jones. Got her degree, and you're right, 10 points against Texas and 6 rebounds, and now really giving them part of that huge advantage in bench points for this game. 4.5 minutes away from a date with Iowa on Sunday night. There you see it, boy, plus 21 in bench points. Plus 10 overall. Van Lith still shooting, but has not scored in this quarter. Now 0 for 5 from the floor in the fourth. Large contingency up in the stands. Holly Rowe able to talk to her family earlier in the game. There we go. There's Team Van Lith. Mentioned that she has, especially some relatives have not seen her since she was a freshman, as some older relatives that have not been able to travel. So what a treat for the whole family to come up over the mountains and see HVL play. And right now it looks like they're going to get to see her again on Sunday. Bonus basketball at home. Nice finish for Davis.
I would anticipate Ole Miss, yes, coming with the pressure after made shots. See if they can turn Louisville over, string a couple of stops together. Now, Louisville's been a little stagnant offensively. They've been trying to work the clock, but at the expense of their aggressiveness.
They've only scored 4 points in this quarter.
You got to find the balance of staying aggressive and taking what the defense gives you while still working that clock. That's one right there.
There you go, Van Lith. First points of the fourth quarter. Free ball goes in. Angel Baker gets the lead to just 7. With time left.
Got to get it across.
Yeah, especially with this pressure that you mentioned that the Rebels bring. Morgan Jones is going to come back in for Louisville, but that's a flat-out steal. Taylor took it away from Van Lith. Goes by her for the bucket. It's a 5-point game.
It can turn in a hurry with this pressure. Well, Ole Miss has the ability, when they make their shots, to set this press, to get aggressive, to force you to play fast, to turn you over. That's a big shot by Haley Van Lith. And we talk about her wanting to step up in those big moments.
Cochran with the foul on the other end. So Van Lith with a couple of big baskets here.
That's a big three by Angel Baker. Knocks it down. Ole Miss then able to set their pressure. Terrific hands by Maya Taylor. This is what they do. You keep yourself in a ball game because of your ability to defend. But in order to set that pressure, you got to make some shots. And they've started to string a couple of together.
Only down by 7 points. A timeout taken by Ole Miss with 2:29 left to go in this basketball game. Outscoring Louisville by 3 points in this quarter. Sweet 16 continues tomorrow on the ESPN networks, 11:30 Eastern time. Notre Dame takes on Maryland. Follow that with UCLA, South Carolina. Both games on ESPN. Then flip over to ABC at 4 Eastern when Ohio State takes on UConn. And then at 6:30 Eastern, Tennessee and Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech, the ACC tournament champs for the first time, get a #1 seed for the first time. Tennessee, that's a tough matchup. Should be a good one. And that's here in Seattle.
Well, we're seeing a really tough, aggressive game from Maya Taylor of Ole Miss tonight, and she's a very rare transfer from Ole Miss. She came from Mississippi State. Like, those are hated rivals. That's not a transfer you'd see normally. She said, I did want to be a little bit closer to home. I'm from Olive Branch, Mississippi. And she said, it's actually allowed my grandfather, Willie Oliver, to come and see me play a few times this year. He's currently in the hospital, so I wanted to be sure and give Grandpa Willie a big shout out. I just think you should know your granddaughter is balling. She has been so tough, so strong, one of the smallest players on the court tonight, and she is giving it all. Very impressed with this senior guard from Olive Branch, Mississippi.
Yeah, absolutely, Holly, and an opportunity now to go to the free throw line. Got her degree from Mississippi State, 3-year starter. Talked about some of the conference losses they went through, some tough games in the SEC, preparing them for the NCAA tournament. Robinson streaks over midcourt. Cochran able to beat a couple of defenders and draw the foul.
Just a terrific play. Mikasa Robinson, again, she understands when you need to push and when you need to bring it back. And Olivia Cochran with the strong finish and foul.
And that is the 5th foul on Singleton. Senior who is a transfer from Rutgers. Cochran at the free throw line. Russell coming back in for Louisville. Dixon heads to the bench.
And Louisville going small with 4 perimeter players right now against this Ole Miss offense. Want to lock in and probably give them a little bit more versatility defensively. They can switch 1 through 4.
Davis working on Russell, who just came in. And Robinson stuck a hand in. 9 seconds to shoot.
And you see this, Louisville does this too, though. They're going to start in the zone. When the ball comes in, they'll go to man-to-man. It's like they try to keep you off balance. And you can do that when you have a small lineup on the floor.
Shot clock dying, and the bucket buried by Davis.
Davis has been terrific.
But Louisville continues to attack. And another chance for a 3-point play for Robinson.
Well, again, Mikasa Robinson making the decision to go to the rim. She knows she's beat the press. She wants to keep the pressure on them. Able to finish. Gets a chance for the and one. And then you see the shoulder shrug. We've seen that a few times over the last couple of weeks.
Robinson wants to be to go into coaching. It's one of her options. Come back and be a GA next year so she could get her master's degree. Wants to get a strength and conditioning certificate. Stay close to athletics. So competitive. It's a Louisville team that wasn't ranked for the first time in years going into the tournament. Did not have a home site in the first and second round. Unfamiliar territory, but they are blossoming, right around the right time.
Well, it's a Louisville team that when we had them in December and January, we weren't really sure where they were going to fall, right? Because they hadn't quite brought it together. They weren't defending like you're used to seeing them. Offensively, they hadn't found their rhythm. Their new pieces hadn't gotten into a flow. And they found it right before the ACC tournament.
SportsCenter is coming up next. Only the Elite Eight is remaining in the men's NCAA tournament, including some upsets. 4 teams on the women's bracket have moved a step closer. Also talk about Steph. SportsCenter from LA with Ashley and Stan on ESPN. The ESPN app. A great day for the University of Miami. When it comes to basketball. And a very upsetting day for some other fans. Houston and Alabama going out today on the men's side. Robinson with the finish. She was shut out in the first half, and now she's got 11. Her career high is 14 that she had against Drake in the first round this year.
Well, Pam, she's been there before. So she understands this situation that Louisville was in January. She had not been there, but she understands the moment. She has made every big play that is needed to be made on one end or the other.
The heart and soul of this Louisville team. Playing in her final collegiate season. Scott at the free throw line. On them both. What a year this has been for Ole Miss. Here's the pressure with the made free throws. Russell helps to get it over, and now they're going to use the clock.
Coach Yo is telling him to foul. Too much time is running off the clock.
Collins finally does that. 17 seconds ran off the shot clock before that happened. Take this time to thank our producer, Seth Miller, the fine people we've worked with all season long, those who worked so hard back home in Bristol, put on this tournament. And what a tournament it has been. Ole Miss pulling off one of the biggest upsets by taking out Stanford.
Well, what Coach O has been able to do with this program, getting them to believe, we heard it in their conversations with us, we believe in one another, we play for one another, we know our identity, defense, toughness, rebounding. They certainly do take on the persona of their head coach.
So if this result holds, we're going to have Louisville and Iowa on Sunday night. Talk about a little bit of flair, a little bit of flash and dash, a little bit of attitude.
Two of the edgiest, passionate players in the game. It's what we love to see.
They have not faced each other collegiately. Last matchup between Louisville and Iowa, you have to go back to 2014. Louisville won that game. There you go. That's quite a matchup. Caitlin Clark with 31 tonight.
That's it?
Only 31. Disappointing. Didn't get a triple-double. She's human. Colorado with a terrific season. That's a drive by Taylor. 2 more games coming out of this building on Saturday, which is tomorrow. And then a couple of Elite 8 games. Jeff Walls on the cusp of taking Louisville to its 8th Elite 8. Into 4 Final Fours, including last year, a couple of title games where they ran into Connecticut and lost both times. Haley Van Lith with a huge contingency. Family lives about 2.5 hours away from here. East of Seattle, because if you go west, you'd be in the water, so east of Seattle. A lot of those number 10 jerseys.
Yes, there are.
In Wenatchee.
A lot of them in this arena.
Haley Van Lith now with 21 points. 8 of them here in this quarter.
Well, she struggled early in the quarter, but when it was game time, she certainly stepped up. She started the game hot, aggressive, knocking down threes, knocking down shots, kissing to her fans in the stands. But then she got to work at crunch time. When Louisville needed a bucket, she got to her spots, she knocked them down, she converted.
Most 20-point games in the NCAA tournament. Haley Van Lith has tied Shoni Schimmel. Only Angel McCautry had more, and A.D. Durr, who we had a chance to see in Louisville a couple of weeks ago when we were there, and Haley's done it again. She has just been terrific in NCAA tournament games. Coming up big at home.
And Pam, you know, watching Jeff Walls, he's pretty animated on the sideline. And, you know, we've had them quite a few times this year, and he was talking about he just didn't quite know what to expect at moments from this team. They would be really good, and then they would shoot themselves in the foot, and they've come together at the right time. And he told Holly he's so proud of this team and the way that they're executing. But he has done an outstanding job with this group this year.
He certainly has. So many questions coming in. They lost so much last year, including Emily Engsler, Chelsea Hall, and the emotion from Haley Van Lith taking it in, knowing that she's won a ball game in Washington. Van Lith and the Cardinals just 1 win away from heading back to the Final Four for the 2nd straight season as they hold off a tenacious Ole Miss team and win it 72-62. Elite 8 for the 5th straight year. Coach O, what a year for her team. Ole Miss finishes 25-9 on the season, and well, you see Coach O with a lot of respect for Haley Van Lith. Not a lot of drama in this handshake line.
Oh, what an outstanding job that Coach Yo has done with this Ole Miss program, and what an outstanding job Jeff Walz has done with this team. He has them one game away from another Final Four.
A team that has come a long way and tinkering with the lineup, certainly, which started at the end of January, is paying off, and it's almost like Yum Center West. There's a lot of folks here. It'll be interesting, the Louisville fans coming up, and there are a lot of them cheering for Haley. Here she is with Holly.
Okay, I didn't want to tell you at halftime and freak you out, but there's like 300 people here from your hometown, your dad told me. What is it like to play in front of this crowd and feel all this love here tonight?
You know, it's just God in my life, man. My people love on me, and the least I can do is give them a show. And our team went out there and we laid our hearts out on the court, and that's all you can ask for. So we're going to keep going.
This team did lay their hearts out. That's the best defense I've seen your team play all year. How did it come up in the biggest moment when you needed it?
Because we're some ballers. We're not scared of the spotlight. When the biggest moment is there, we're ready to play. And I've been saying that all tournament, all we need is an opportunity. And we just won ourselves an opportunity on Sunday, so.
All right, I don't know who talks more in the game or who has more swag, you or Caitlin Clark. What is this matchup? I know it's your teams, but what is this going to be like to play against one of the greats?
No, I mean, you know, I think we're both great players, and I love Caitlin, and I respect her game so much. She's one of my buddies, and I think she's a great person who supports other players as well. She's always showing love, and I love that about her, so it's going to be fun.
Some smack talk, though?
Nah, she's my buddy. All love, all love. If it's any smack talk, it's all love.
All right, we'll see you tomorrow. We'll see.
We will.
Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Holly, and cannot wait for that in Seattle on Sunday night. Little curtain call as she runs off the court. Haley Van Lith, the kid from Wenatchee, Washington, and her Louisville Cardinals going to take on Iowa Sunday at 9 Eastern time on ESPN. That is 6 Eastern in Wenatchee, and here in the Pacific time zone as Iowa gets ready to take on Louisville. For Steph White and Holly Rowe, our entire crew, I'm Pam Ward, as we say good night from Seattle and hello to SportsCenter.